automated code replacement generation that should help make life a lot easier for things. Basically, this does most of the work. So when you open up a website, say like for us, and you click the roster, which I need like an actual football roster. The easy way on Sidearms to get these websites is to hit this print button, cancel, and then I can copy all of these out. Copy this. So this would be the part where if you have other rosters, you'll start. On this third tab, this sheet exists literally to just be able to work on your rosters for formatting. So when I paste these in, I know that I'm going to have cells that I don't really need things for. So I'm going to remove the hyperlinks from all of this because I know that those exist. And so right now I have the number in the first column, the player name, and then their position. So I don't really need their height, weight, class, or anything. So I'm going to delete that, and then I'll delete anything else. So right now I've got all of these, and all of these have positions and numbers. So I'm going to copy these, and on this first page, so right now I've gone through step 1. I've got these set up in the 3 columns. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to delete the roster that I had in, and I'm going to paste that roster. I'm going to expand this column a little bit so it doesn't mess with it. And so one of the advantages right now is that because I have this position marker here, and I've got the chart over here, it's going to do offense, defense for me. So when I come in here now, which, whoops, I forgot, this would be football, LSU, Tigers. So normally you would change these first. Now I can come in here and I've got football 1 offense, football 1 defense, football 2 offense, 2 defense, and the standard replacement will be their name. But what this also generates is AP options as well as Getty options. So if I did FB10 hashtag 8, it would pull this as a thing. Same thing if I did 6 here, 3 here, etc., etc. If you download this file, you can delete columns you don't need. It'll still generate things, I believe, correctly. But this way it does all of this for you. So now my file will have all of this, as well as something based on their names for the same thing, because I use that for folder stuff some. You can delete that if you don't need it. But, so checking this, we've gone through, we've put the names and mascots, we've applied it, and it's created the formatting, so now we're going to export this. So on this code file, we're going to file, tab separated values. It's going to give me that. So I'm going to open that up, which I actually don't want that. In numbers, I want it in Excel because it's easy to work with in Excel. So now I've got this. Now, because of the way the sheet is built, it will do 150 rosters spots. So you can come in here, grab all these cells, delete it to help clean that up. And then same thing on the bottom of this. Come in here, delete it, and it'll clean it up. And so now I've got all these done. But say I just want the Getty things in here. I can come in here and I can delete columns A through H. And now my standard replacement would be the Getty thing. Getty replacement generation. So you can remove whatever columns you want on here. Just know that after that first one, it's each of the numbered columns. So hashtag 2, hashtag 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I use these for the photo shoot part that we'll show later, but this is also a super helpful way to generate folders and all kind of things like that. But what it does down here is if you use these for a folder name, you can also then use like rename functions and things for however you kind of want to mess with that. But if all you want this for is code replacement, it will simply and easily generate this file. You'll save the file again in here with a tab delimited. You can open that up in a normal tab, and you can see all of that. You're good to go. You can also open this TSV file as a text file in the same way. If you're not going to delete columns, you can come in here and do that same thing that I did to clean up all that extraneous spots. And you're good. So that should be the basic run through of how to work this. Diving in a little bit more on how it works. In this first page, it takes this information and runs with it. So if I take out all these positions, it's going to go to the F10 adjustments. You can see now, the reason for football you can't use this is because you have dual numbers. But if I put those back, suddenly those positions appear again. And so what it is this first column here has all of those set up for me. So say I wanted to add my coaches on here. See, I'm going to add EO for Ed Orgeron. And on that, I'm going to call him, we have just listed as coach. And then say I want our new offensive coordinator. So Jake Peets, and he's going to be AC. So now when I go to my code replacements page, I now have their initials for use with those, as well as assistant coach, head coach. The formatting for those are different because they're not numbers, and you wouldn't want LSU Tigers coach Ed Orgeron, open parentheses, EA. So that's handled over here. Basically, it checks the position on this first column with whatever you have here, and then it will generate the letter for offense, defense, or special teams with whatever you put here. So say I put a C here for coach, it's now going to add that C to the end of it, but I don't really want that for any of my coaches. So for any position that's not a number, and so like a title or something, you put an N here. So include as a number, no. So if I change this, like I could put HC here and put head coach, and then if I list Ed Orgeron as head coach, it now has head coach. Oh, and see what I did was forget to put an N. So it now cleans up that. Should be pretty easy. These are kind of the standard ones that our rosters use. If you find other places that don't use these, I know Auburn lists like Buck players, but we don't. So I've got that replacement for there. But say I wanted to change Kayshawn to like, say we're doing baseball and you wanted to do these. So like RHP for pitcher. LHP would be the same. Code replacements. So LSU Tigers pitcher, Kayshawn Booty. Same thing for Eli. This is listed here differently. So that's essentially what it is. If I really wanted to, I could add letters, which will just add that. But that's how this whole functions. There's a non-football one here that just generates these here. This was built to ignore the positions if you want to use this for something. It also just generates a simple thing. I left it just in case anyone wants to use it that way, but this is the page that does most of the work.